Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? Alright, let's start it off. Daphne, dormant, may you rest in peace. There was, Daphne Norman is known from Dave Chappelle. It's from his special, The Closer. If you have not seen it yet, you gotta watch it. It's hilarious. Now, they were arriving backstage, I think it was, if I recall. I don't know. I read the article. I was trying to watch the thing online, but I was trying to do it during halftime for a soccer game, and Pops was like, "Okay, stop. It's enough," because the game was resuming. Anyways, I think Chappelle said something along the lines that I just don't understand you. And then that's when Daphne, she went from, they were all just having fun, drinking beers, vibing, whatever. But that's when like her face just turned up straight up serious, and she looked at him, like, wow, you're not my friend anymore, or like this serious look. And she said to him exactly this. She says, "I don't need you to understand me. I just need you to believe that I'm having a human experience." Which Chappelle replied, "I believe you, because it takes one to know one." And eventually Daphne ended up committing suicide about 10 days later. I don't know exactly what the story of her life was, but it's very sad. But those lines resonated with me. I just need you to believe that what I'm going through is a human experience. Well, before I start talking about whom I want to talk to, which don't matter, they probably turned the video off already, let me get into a little something about myself, alright? Because I always talk shit, I always say this and that, so I wrote it down on paper, right here, if you can make it out. That's just the pen I use, Sharpie king size. That's my name, okay? That's today's date. That's the time I wrote it. Even though it's like 1930 right now. I've just been going through so much. And then the city. And then I say, I am not a certified MD. I am self-diagnosing myself, except for the first one. And the following ones, the doctor just kind of like, okay, you got shit, you got whatever. I'm self-diagnosing myself on YouTube.com. Please seek professional treatment if you feel like shite. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. So this also pertains to the people that think that mental health is something in your head. Okay, maybe it's something in your head, but I'll tell you something, capitalism don't think so, the AMA don't think so, crooked ass MAA, but there's still the AMA, they don't think so. And you can certainly get a profession where you help these people, and if they have insurance, you are able to bill them. When you bill people, normally in a claim, you have to put two things. You have to put the procedure code. The procedure code is pretty much just what you did. What kind of exam, was it a new patient, established patient, was it what kind of checkup was it? Was it like an hour-long therapy session, or was it something like if you're a surgeon, you took cataract out of an eye. With the new ICD-10, they wanted to make it more specific than the ICD-9. That was the prior version. So with this one now, they want to know if you did do a cataract surgery, which eye was it? You know, that kind of thing. So that's the name. That's the main differences. And it's been a while since I've been in clerical work, but I do remember some things, and I can pretty much tell that the new ICD stands is probably a piece of cake, because by now the vast majority of all companies, they all use online, you know, to do their claims and everything. So you can pretty much tell right away where you get reimbursed. That's something that happened to me when I went to this little mom and pop pharmacy when I first got this insurance. I went and I asked, can I fill this here? And the owner, he goes to his computer, checks it out, and he says to me, I can't fill this for you because if I fill this for you, I lose money on it. And so, yada yada yada, whatever. A couple of weeks go by, I go see my, how do you call that person? My like, not guidance counselor, but my, what is it called? Anyways, she looks into it and she sees that it was actually billed. And when I look online right now, to the website for the insurance, it shows that it was actually billed, and I didn't receive anything. It's just some things you just gotta laugh at, but at the same time, that money's I could use that money, because heaven knows, whatever dollar I make, I gotta pay mom back, because that's the only way that I can somehow function properly, is by going to the clinic and not have to resort back to OUD, because that was just a point in life where it's terrible. So let's open this up and let's take a look at what I wrote. This is the first diagnosis that I was ever diagnosed with: bipolar disorder. It was formerly known as manic depressive disorder. That's what it was called when I was young. That's how long ago that was. Diagnosis code for that, used for that when billing, is F31.2. Okay? So if you're not a doctor, you're not an MD, you don't do claims, you don't work at a doctor's office, don't act like you know about mental illness, okay? Like you're a professional about it, because more than likely you're far from not, and you think people are going through things that they're just making up in their heads, when in reality, that shit is real. Because if it's real to them, it's real. It's like ghosts. If people believe in ghosts, they believe in it, and it's real. These things, though, have been proven through technology, like CAT scans and stuff, that different parts of the brain develop differently for different people. Alright, the next thing I was diagnosed with was something called GAD. It's called generalized anxiety disorder. This is a mental illness that produces fear, worry, and a constant feeling of being overwhelmed. The diagnosis code for GAD, F41.1. So if you see a patient with that, that's what you would use for the diagnosis. The procedure would be different, because it all depends. Is it a new patient? Is it an established patient? Is it a follow-up visit? You know, there's all different types of procedure codes. The next one is self-explanatory: hypertension. Okay. So now for hypertension, diagnosis code is I10. And I wrote this as a little, you know, for a little bit of a, I don't want to say comedic effect, but now you learn a little something new. They mentioned that this is also known as the silent death. So can't wait. All right, moving on. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, this one's relatively new, and I owe this one, thank goodness, to one of the brick and mortar duopolies. I had dropped the prescription off on a Thursday evening, and funny enough, the lady I dropped it off, she happened to be the pharmacy manager. I did not expect it. I just figured she'd want the covered hours, you know, the daytime hours. But no, she was the actual pharmacy. She was the actual pharmacy manager. So I gave her the script. She's like, "Oh, it'll be ready Monday." So it should have been ready Monday. Now, from this, as a result, one of the, you know, the brick and mortar pharmacy saying my meds will be ready on Monday. It turned out I turned in the script on the Thursday, remember? So we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 5 days, all right? That's why I prefer going to the pharmacy that I go to and pay a little extra, because so far, every time I've gone there to get my med, they have it. Just like where I used to go to before, but he closed. It's a shame. Steven Schwartz, wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying your retirement. All right, so, and when Monday came around, I'm already out of meds, so, you know, that's already gotten me stressed out, because these aren't the type of meds that you can just stop cold turkey. You have to talk to your doctor, and you have to do something that's called taper off, right? Which means that essentially they lower your dose to the point where you're able to just do without it. Now the problem for me is, yeah, whatever, I've been on medication assisted treatment since 2018, but I'm gonna be honest with all of you. Since I suffer from, you know, whatever manic depression, these medications have actually helped me to enjoy life. So why not? Should I not have a right to enjoy life? I mean, don't get me wrong, my financial situation is not where I want it to be, but still, you know, that's money. Some people don't even value money. Some people don't even understand the concept of money. But just to clear it up, all money is power. At least where we live, where it's neither a republic and it's neither a democracy. It's capitalism. Okay? So, I was up a week. The truth told and done, which is that I call always refill. I try to refill as early as possible so that this does not occur again, because I'm trying my best to be in the best of mental spirits, okay? Because in spite of the, you know, I'm not gonna say the little I have. I'm blessed. I got my two parents. I'm blessed with that. I got my daughter. I'm blessed with that. I got my queen, who is kind of like a hypocrite, because, like, if I ask her for help on something, she'll say, "Oh, no, don't ask me, please. You know, respect my wishes." And I'm like, "Okay, fine, I will." So I stopped asking her. But now when she wants my help, instead of behaving the way that she asked me to behave towards her, she just acts like herself, which is, trust me, if you have to be in my shoes. All right. So, we feel as early as possible. Diagnosis for post-traumatic. F43.10. Alright? And now I have to switch pens because the other one was, as you can see, was drying out. You can barely see any of this, but I'm explaining it to you. And I'm going to explain it to you for further reasons in a little bit. Oh, this is the name of the pen. It's Jaw Permanent Marker. I wrote it down. The next is actually the phobia. Is amaxophobia. Mine's just more like mortophobia. Because I do get into a car sometimes. I get in the car with my parents drive. I don't own a car, and I will ride in when mom or dad or drive. But knowing that these are death metal boxes, they are, and that they're the second cause of death here in the United States of America. These are I'm just waiting for they're the second cause of death here in the U.S. So I'm just waiting for the body bag. All right. The diagnosis for this is at the psychologist or the psychiatrist's discretion. And the back, I did a perfect circle because I want to try to do some more things. Let me pause the video because I'm going to look at something. I want to show you guys something. Just like Daphne said, I just want you to know that what I'm going through is a human experience. I've realized that the two people who I thought, whatever, yeah, I'm a bad brother, but at the same time, I'm not well, okay? So you guys maybe expected me to do certain things, whatever. And another thing too is, I believe you guys have come to a conclusion about me based on what you hear from a couple of individuals who grew up in a different country. And in that country, they have a tendency to talk a lot about other people, and most of the time it's negative. I believe the reason why is because in that country, the quality of life was just kind of like, so what do you do when, you want to forget about your troubles? You do whatever it takes, even if it means talking shite about somebody. So the two people that I thought that I was like, able to communicate with, whatever, even if it's through the phone, which I don't like. I'd rather be in person, but most of the time when they were being visited, like I said, I don't have a metal box, so I can stay, whatever, for a little while, but then it's hard, if you don't want to be there any longer, you want to leave, but everybody wants to stay, you're not going to enjoy yourself anymore. You're just going to be sitting there, and I wasn't looking forward to that. And also at the same time, I had to keep an eye out on, because I was being blamed for things missing out of the house. But let me show you an example of how somebody doesn't even consider another person a human. Alright? I'm going to show you a couple of screenshots so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, I ended up texting Papa Alex and asking him, I said, Laura, what's Asia's number? That's the lady's name. That's the only time I'm going to say that, because whatever. So she replied to Papa Alex, which was amazing. But here are the most recent texts that I've sent them where they don't reply to me. That first picture, that was probably a picture I showed her of how I do all the gardening. I don't want them to think that I'm sitting around here being lazy, because that's not the truth. And at the end, I asked her for some money. Only reason is because I was getting a great deal. I normally try never to ask them for money because I know they work hard for it and they deserve it. But I'm trying to get a theory about what's going on. After the hyperinflation has happened, something tells me that what they used to make is not good enough anymore. People who live on 6 figures now are living paycheck to paycheck. And I think that's maybe what be happening to them. At least I hope that's what it is. Alright, so this next one, what am I saying here? Serve mom food, which I do anyways, so it doesn't count. If you could cash at me, it would mean anything in the world. Obviously, because I'm poor, I have to ask them once in a while. I asked her again for the $40. That was time I was getting a great deal. Sunday, Father's Day, I say thanks, Alex. And the reason why was because I was going into my mom's purse to grab a $20 bill. You know, whatever. I would have told her anyways, and it's not like I was trying to hide it from her. But what got me upset was that it was her curiosity. It's not her fault. She said, David, what are you doing? But as soon as she said that, my parents stormed out of the house like it was the end of the world. And in this video where I talk about the human experience, you guys just leave a response when something like this has happened to you, because that was just totally embarrassing. I texted her back. I said, how was the fun trip? And I said, maybe you can even find $20 on the ground. I told her how I did once in Publix. Hey, but yeah, I'm talking about how love my sisters to death. Just bye. Please hit the subscribe button, like, and share. It would help out a lot. Thank you.